6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your number one show for everything guitar.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Guitar Stories, and I was singing along to the theme tune again. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Andy. Episode 69. It's good to be back after our little hiatus.
Yeah, we had a little break, but we're back, and we didn't skip any episode numbers, so now we are at the rather hilarious episode 69.
Yeah.
Actually, full disclosure, everybody, we were guestless until about 2 hours ago, and then we scored an absolute stonker of a guest. So I'm really happy we have a guest. We were going to go just duo tonight with Dan and I, but no, we've got a guest. His name is Pete Honore, and he's there in the background in the green room, chilling out, covered in purple guitars, and he'll be with us in a little bit. But before we bring him in, I'm sure Dan's going to tell you something about him, I guess. I hope. I wish.
Is that already the time for the ultimate Pete Honore presentation? All right.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's due time.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're welcoming. I haven't written anything, but I think I can wing it. So let's give it a try. So tonight we are welcoming Peter Honore, and we've been chasing him for quite a while because Andy and I were both are big fans of what he's doing. He is currently the co-host of Andertons channel, one of the, I think it's the biggest European channel, gear-related channel. He's a great guitarist. He played with legends like Lionel Richie, Tom Jones, and even for the German-speaking audience, even Helene Fischer. So he played the big stadiums.
Don't forget Girls Aloud. Come on.
Girls Aloud. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot Girls Aloud. So he knows.
Also,
what he's
Dan,
talking about.
can you move your phone away from your microphone, because it's going nutso on my end.
All right, okay, all right. So so he's got like a vast experience, like 20 years of playing the guitar in front of huge audiences, and above and beyond that, he's a lover of purple guitars, and he's treating us very well when it comes to the various shades of purple, maybe 50 shades of purple. I don't know. But we already have seen him backstage, and he's brought up a nice collection of guitars. And I'm pretty sure that we will get to learn a lot of his personal guitar stories and what the deal actually is about purple. I've never had the chance to ask him what it is. So I'm super pleased to have him here. Episode 69. And he's taking a sip from his Batman cup. I'm going to take a drink as well. Hello, everyone. And in the background, by the way, I have a treat for Pooh. This just landed.
That's one hell of an intro that's just withered away into you taking a drink and talking about other stuff. But let's get him on screen. Let's introduce him. In England, it's Danish Pete Honore. Hello, Pete.
Hello.
Hey!
I'm actually at work right now.
Oh.
I've literally just finished off and I'm at work, so perfect.
Well,
That's
thank
why I'm
you
wearing
for staying on.
all the logos. Yeah, I was just doing some stuff and then I thought I might as well stay here while chatting to you lovely gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show, mate.
accepting
Welcome.
the invite, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, as Dan just said, we have been trying to chat to you for ages. We know you're a busy man, and thankfully something aligned today that made it happen, and here we are.
Yeah, the purple stars.
Before we go any further, mate, let's gonna put Pete full screen to show what he's got arranged for us. That's gonna put me full screen. And Pete, how many purple guitars do you have there?
I mean, there's 6 here, then there's another 3 over there, and then I think there's another 1 or 2 in the other room, and then there's another, I don't know, 3 at home, 4 at home, something like that maybe.
Well, we're going to get into the purpleness and the reasons and all the other stuff a little bit later on, and I'm sure people in the live chat have questions for you. So if you have questions for Pete, save them for a little bit later, because we're going to do first guitar news, then we're going to do our picks of the week, of the week's gear, and then we will do a full-on, no-holds-barred chat with Pete. I hope everybody's ready and warmed up and
I am.
supple and flexible.
Yeah, it is number 69, this, isn't it? So we have to. It's something special.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep saying it.
I know that you'd bend over backwards for us anyway, so it's good to know that
Not
you're
just you, my friend.
What's your drink of choice tonight, Pete?
This is just a Coke Zero.
Right.
Coke Zero.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Haven't had alcohol for 6 months now. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Wow, is that one of the reasons you're looking about 15 years younger?
I think so. Yeah, I lost shit tons of weight, if I can say that word. It went off really quickly. But I was drinking quite heavily, and I thought it was just time to take a break from it. And watching myself, being in the videos, editing the videos, looking at myself, going, this needs to stop, So I just thought I'd done 3 months last year, and then I started again, and I thought I just need a proper break from it for a little while. Right. And now I'm just eating tons of sweets and stuff instead, which is like really. But it's obviously the alcohol obviously had an effect on me. So yeah, it's good. And then it's been nice and sunny, so been outside standing like this in the sunshine for a bit, get a bit of sun tan.
Yeah, well, I was in the UK last week. We were going to touch on that briefly, and I got sunburnt in Wales. And I think there's a book of people, a very small book with people in it that have got sunburnt in Wales, and I'm probably one of the few people.
I mean, mind you, I go to Wales.
I went to Barry Island, and
it's beautiful though.
Got sunburnt.
Yeah, Barry Island. It's beautiful in Wales. We've been up there a couple of times.
Absolutely
on the beach.
stunning.
Yeah,
It was gorgeous.
absolutely.
All right. Shall we just?
Dan, have you been to Barry Island?
No, never. But actually, touching on the topic of avoiding alcohol, I was about to talk with you before the show about a movie that I saw, a Danish movie, which blends in perfectly into today's guest, called Druk, or
Druk, yeah.
Druk,
Drink.
another round with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Have you watched it before?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it a couple of times. I think it's really. We were actually talking about it here when I was drinking. It came up in conversation, and me and Lee was like, maybe we should just try to just start in the morning and just get that. I think it's like what they drink, so they got like just the limit is a 0.8 or something 1, and they just keep that going all the time because it seems you're much more productive. You're happy all the time, and all this shit just bounces off you. If you maintain that 0.8% alcohol in your system all the time.
Wow.
The problem is eventually you need more and more to get to that point, and then it'll and that's what happens in the film. It's a great film. I love the film.
Yeah. And it's also it's about like men in their 40s, so they are all facing some sort of midlife crisis.
I'm not there yet, but no.
Well, okay. I just found it interesting that they because they base it on one of a hypothesis of a shrink, a Norwegian shrink, and therefore they want to test that hypothesis. They do it themselves, and they're all teachers, which makes it even more interesting because they are facing kids every day. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to hide that they are drinking on a constant level to keep that 0.5 or 0.8 or 1.0 per mil at a steady level.
Is it such a crazy theory? We all know what happens if you have a couple of drinks to a point. Some people go straight away. Some people can just carry on and have a glass of wine and just keep that buzz going. Is that a crazy idea? I'm not sure. I mean, I feel fine without drinking. I miss it.
Yeah.
I like a glass of wine. It's nice, but the problem is I can't just have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. That was the problem, and that because I like it, and then I just keep going. And then I can get up of a chair now without going, So it doesn't work in the joints. Everything feels much nicer, and
Wow.
It's quite interesting experiment actually, which I'm enjoying.
Well, the compliments are flying in the live chat. We don't normally get compliments on how someone looks, but well done, mate. You're pleasing eye candy for this evening. Thanks. We're going to do some news. We've got so much news to talk about because so much has happened in the guitar world. Some has been covered already, but we're going to cover it because we've got opinions. Pete, if you want to join in, or if you've got no opinion whatsoever, it works both ways.
I always have an opinion.
Good. The first one, Dan, is something I have no opinion on. So it's ProLight and Sound.
Oh, that's just that's happening at the moment. Today's the starting day of ProLight and Sound. I guess a couple people are already there in Frankfurt. It's basically what is left after Messe has been cancelled. So this is the second part. It's all about PA. Hello. It's all about PA and lighting
And lights.
systems and all that. Yeah, very sophisticated. It's super cool to be there. It's impressive what is possible, especially for live concerts. I mean, Pete has seen the biggest stages, so he knows what's involved when you play for the really big names, and you need the big PA systems and the biggest lights and everything. So it's pretty impressive to see what's possible. And this is happening right now. It's I was a little bit sentimental when I chose that for as a news topic, because around that time we usually went to Frankfurt and there were the big shows and a lot of artists playing. I don't know, Pete, have you been to Frankfurt Messe a lot of times?
Actually, I've never been.
Never.
No, I've never.
Okay.
I've never. I think it was. I was busy touring when it was on, and then I never got the time. And then it stopped before I get to work here, and so NAMM is the only thing I've been to.
Okay. Yeah, so just a little bit of sentimental value. But
Yeah, absolutely, must be.
Henning is there right now, or he may be home by now, but Henning Pauli is there, so he's there looking at shiny lights. I must admit, I have been to Frankfurt Messe, and I did enjoy walking through the lights and the smoke and all that stuff. But it was just too damn loud for someone like me. It was just too damn loud and too...
Is that like the
disorienting.
place in NAMM where Boss had there's like a DJ, the last time we were there, you walk down this long corridor and then into this massive hall, and it was just full of DJ stuff. Oh.
Yeah, it's basically that, just in German.
Yeah, just in German.
German smoke.
So, yeah, I have no opinion on that. I'll shut
No.
up on that one. Okay. Second piece of news is something that Dan pointed out to me that I've been testing all day and I've failed, and that is that GuitarWorld.com seems to have put up a paywall on their features and articles. And I've been testing it. I'll put a little thing on screen for you that says, you've enjoyed reading 5 articles this month. Now you can join now for unlimited access. And then there's a price that you can pay to access all their content as a subscription. And I tried this. I read like 7 articles, or pretended to read them. I looked at the pictures, and I couldn't access this paywall thing. So Dan, what have you done to make Guitar World want to charge you money?
I don't know. We were just talking about the hottest topics of the day. It just popped up, so I was pretty surprised to see that they installed Paywall. I don't know why that is the case. And also if that's a system for them that's worthwhile. But yeah, interesting to see that they're going that route.
I don't have
Pete's
it.
trying it now. No, it doesn't work for you either.
No,
It's
I
just,
can.
You can fully
Yeah, I'm fine.
fully access.
Yeah.
Well, so am I. I've failed to be stopped. So they must.
Yeah,
have
it says
locked
you can
my IP
subscribe
address.
here. There's like a subscriber button, so I guess you can subscribe for $5.99 for more magazines, but that'll be like guitar, guitarist, and other stuff. So maybe that's like but that's a different thing, isn't it? So you get the 5. Oh, what? No. I'm fine.
So, the people in the chat, has this happened to anybody else? Or maybe you could, open up another tab and check out guitarworld.com and see if it happens. But so far, it's only
Increase in
Dan.
traffic.
But we wanted to ask,
Yeah.
that's why we're here, reach out to the audience and see if anything else has happened. 'Cause it's probably when Dan wants to read sort of Jackson and Charvel articles
Yeah.
that...
Yeah, they know, they see it incoming, Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, well...
I bet tomorrow
just
you will send me a
is
screenshot
it
from your
personal?
PC. Say again?
Yeah, I think I will. I will try it. I've tried it from several different PCs and nothing works. Yeah.
Weird.
Okay. Phew. Well, that's a failure so far. Sorry. We started off well. It's got worse. Nothing worked then. But something really good, talking about people looking better, was Danny Elfmann at Coachella.
Wow.
On screen now, playing a PRS. He is looking buff and big and healthy and happy, but also a little bit like Heath Ledger in the Batman movies.
I mean, he's 68.
Mixed with 68, man.
Is he 68? Wow.
He's 60. I want to look like that if I'm 68. It's just incredible. I mean, he was playing. I was impressed by. Yeah, I was impressed by the band he took up on stage. He played with Wes Borland of Limp Bizkit and Nilly Brosh and a lot of other great musicians. And I was looking at the pictures, and then I checked his Wikipedia because I wanted to see when he was born. And he's born in 53. So he's 69 even, right? Yeah. Birthday, 70th,
Wow.
70th birthday next year. Yeah, 68. He's turning 69 now this year. Yeah. So that's crazy. I mean,
Just like
But he
us.
does what he probably does what he loves. You know, that's we talk about this a lot here. Like, you know, Lee just turned 50, and he doesn't really look 50. But I think the fact is that we are doing what we really enjoy every single day, playing guitar and hanging out. And you know, it is stressful because of course it's stressful, and there's a lot of work in it. But at the end of the day, we get to laugh and we get to have a good time, and we're doing what we really enjoy. And I think that will just, you know, as Prince said, you know, what's your, you know, how old are you? He's like, when is your birthday? I said, I had one. That's when I was born. That was my birthday. And that's it. From there on, that's, you know, I just don't need, so there's no number. It's just, I was born on my birthday. And then everything else is just, someone has said once that we have to have 24 hours and 12 months and all that stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean, it's like some people can drink much more than other people, you know, and some people look better when they're older than other people do, you know. And it's how you present yourself and what you do and what you say. And, you know, I still feel like I'm 17 in my head, you know. And why wouldn't I? It's just, I don't want to be old and just miserable. I want, you know, I want to be, smile and laugh.
Yeah.
There's no point
I can absolutely
otherwise.
contest that if you're spending most of your day laughing and smiling and joking but still getting stuff done and feeling productive and having a sense of achievement, then that
And we don't get anything done.
That's the goal. No, I've seen your videos.
Yeah, we don't
proof,
do any
proof of
videos
that.
at all. No, none at all. Never.
When the AI takes over, you could just sit back and provide a voice sample. That's it. You can just wait for the money to roll in then.
Yeah, all that money.
All that money, all those clicky monies, and the dream. Well, Danny Elfmann, I only watched the Coachella performance that Dan sent me, which was the Simpsons theme tune, and I thoroughly enjoyed that and watched it twice. It was awesome.
I haven't watched any of it.
I like the way he turned to the saxophonist and she played the Lisa bit. That was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I recommend you do. It's fun.
I will.
A half-naked buff man playing the Simpsons.
It's hilarious. What's his wife called that we haven't seen for ages, and then she came out, and then she was just, it was all
Richard Fonda, right?
Brigitte Bardot. Fonda.
no, yeah, and you just she was whatever, and then all of a sudden she comes out, and nobody's seen her in like 23 years, and you go, what happened to her? Like, that was in the news recently, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She's just living her best life, man. You don't need to go anywhere and do anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Danny Elfmann, congratulations! It's a new goal. You know, in fact, Pete, you've stopped drinking. I did stop drinking, and then I started again when I went to England. Had a few beers, but I'm back off it now because I feel like rubbish. So back on the Batman juice, the water.
Is there something else in there? Just tell us honestly. Is it like
It's bat juice, I tell you, I promise.
Bad juice.
No, it's
Bat
pure
juice?
vengeance. Pure vengeance. That's what it is.
What are you having, sir? A cup of vengeance.
yeah, in the morning?
I'd need more than a cup of vengeance. I'd need like a barrel of vengeance, please. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about in the news is the biggest one, gear-wise, which is the Digitech buyout from CorTek, which is huge because I'm a massive Digitech and DOD. I'm going to upset some people there. DOD pedal fan. They are my favorite pedals to collect. I have loads. Just as a little flex, I've just bought a few weeks ago the Dirty Robot synth pedal. Haven't even unboxed it yet because I went straight to England, so I'm so excited to plug that in after the show. But yeah, Cortech, you might know Cortech from brands such as, Dan can't say this, but I can. Ibanez Premium line and comparable, PRS SE line, Squire, G&L Tribute, Gretsch, Avalon Loden, Sterling by Musikman, Schecter, Strandberg, EVH, and Jackson. They build, and Cort, of course, they build all those guitars over in the Cortech factories. And now they own Digitech DOD. Bought it from Harman Samsung.
Correct.
Which
Didn't
any
they?
opinions, chaps? Any knowledge that you want to drop?
Oh,
Does it sound good? Then I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
If you're a Digitech or DoD fan, then I think they're going to be better off with Cortech than they were with Harman, because Harman just stopped everything and upset.
They laid off all the people,
that were
right?
in the company to begin with.
They laid off all their developers, and so that was kind of interesting to see how it went, because everyone was expecting Harman to kind of revitalize the line and kind of get their return on invest, but nothing really happened, and they basically just laid off people. And I was wondering whether Samsung did really know what they had, because that's such an asset. Dot pedals and the whammy, for instance, it's just such an iconic product that you can earn money just from that single product. And with Cortech, I think it's interesting because a lot of people don't really know how big Cortech is. I mean, Cort, the manufacturer, they produce maybe 1.3, 1.4 million guitars every single year. They produce several 100,000 amps every year, and it's a South Korean company, but they are all over various countries. They are in Dalian, where they produce acoustic guitars. I've been there in that factory. It's a super neat factory. It's super tidied up. It's modern machinery, nice people, working conditions. From what I could see there was absolutely insane. I mean, had nothing to do with how you sometimes would envision or would assume Chinese production looks like. That was absolutely insane. And also producing in Indonesia, all the Indonesian models that we know from the electric guitar segment. And it's just like a well-running machine, and they must have earned a shitload of money throughout the last couple of years. So with bags full, they kind of probably look for diversifying their product portfolio, because it's obviously the good years where you have to take all the precautions to get through the bad years. And to me, it's an interesting move, and I'm looking forward to seeing new products from them, seeing them maybe taking on new stuff and developers and take it from there, because they have all the means that you need to kind of get Digitech and DOT on the map again.
I hope so, and I hope they bring back some of the necessary people, such as Tom Cram, who was one of the best designers of the pedal ranges for DoD for sure.
Yep.
But just so you know, everybody, I have a pre-buyout whammy, so it's obviously worth a lot more now. Just like those pre-buyout Mesa Boogies and all the rest of it. Yeah. So hold on to those. They're going to be worth a lot soon.
Available now on Andy's Reverb shop.
No, I'm holding back. I'm waiting for waiting for Josh Scott to do a video, so really push those numbers up.
You know what? When I saw that one comment and one guy was kind of posting under the news, I imagine Tom Morello driving to all the guitar stores to get and collect all the leftover whammies.
You joke. I did that. That's the reason I bought the Digitech a few months ago, because I heard something through the grapevine that something was happening, and I thought I better buy a whammy because I don't have one.
Well, I maybe have to do the same thing. I don't have one, or I have one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Maybe I'll buy another one.
Does Andertons have one in stock?
Well, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out right now.
Man. Yeah. Nobody else do it. Nobody go to andertons.co.uk and
buy a
whammy in the next 5 minutes.
We probably don't, because we never have.
All right.
They're never here. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. So, nope. That's always been the way. They're not the Ricochet, anything is never in stock. So, hopefully it will be. Hopefully that's what they're going to do.
You and I can talk after the show if you like. I'm sure there's some kind of arrangement that you and I can make.
Yeah, if there's anything I need, it's another pedal. That's for sure. Absolutely. Even one that goes, wee. I need that. I just need it. Absolutely.
Everybody does.
I mean, jeez.
Right, let's talk about gear. We've got gear picks of the week. I'm not sure, Pete, if you chose a favorite gear pick of the last 7 days. If not, we've got you covered.
Or like
if
a
you
picture.
did, just a piece of gear that was released in the last 7 days. Don't tell us now. Keep it under your hat. I'm not putting you on the spot, but you've now got some time to think about it if there was something released. And I will do mine first, and then Dan will do his, and then we'll go to our guest, Mr. Pete Honore, to find out if he's picked anything, and maybe it's a Digitech whammy.
Andy's pick of the week.
My pick of the week is Billy Corgan's new signature Z1 or Z1 as they're probably saying, from Reverend. I saw this guitar before I knew what it was. I just saw the picture and it absolutely made my eyeballs want to go out and party. I love the design. I've played the first Reverend Billy Corgan signature. I thought that was good. I'm a massive fan of Reverend guitars and all the things they do. This one looks brilliant. It's available in 2 colors. It's like a charcoal. What are they calling it? I should have guessed this first. But it's got rail hammer pickups. It's a string through body. It's got low profile knobs, so they don't get in the way whilst you're strumming your fuzz pedals. The body's chambered. It's an alder body, which I know Reverend is very famous for doing Carina bodies, but this one's alder. Roasted maple neck, which I think most of their necks, if not all, are roasted maple. 22 frets, 10 to 46 strings, $1,799 Thank you.
Looks
Quite
good.
a lot of money, but it is quite a lot of guitar. What do you reckon, Pete?
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, it looks like the Fender did that, like a Strat with a telly kind of neck on it, didn't they? Sort of with that. Do you remember the what do they have, like a?
Oh,
it's a Strat body, but with a telly neck on it, and it had that sort of.
No.
It had the similar kind of similar where are we?
51. The 51.
Yeah, and it had telly pickups in it, but it had like this scratch plate that went all the way up the horn and then down, you know.
Correct. Yeah.
It's a little bit like that. I like it.
Yeah, it does. I agree. But it's got Reverend's own take on it. Do you do Reverend guitars at Andertons?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, good guitars.
Are you a fan? Yeah.
I like them. I mean, there's so many guitars at the moment. You know, we play so many guitars all the time, and there's so many new models and so many new brands that are coming. You know, builders, and they're all incredible. But yeah, they're good guitars, and they always sound nice, and they always play nice, and they always look nice, and you know, it's as something that it's not like anything else, which I really enjoy. When there's a guitar that might have got a slightly different shape or a slightly different take on something, that's always just a refreshing, you know, that it's not just a telly or not just a Strat or not just a Les Paul, or, you know, that is something that, well, we're going to do this to our guitar. And then, you know, a story is always, you know, something more than just a piece of wood with a piece of wood on it, basically.
Yep.
You've just defined my life there, Pete. That's exactly that story's running through my blood. It also links nicely to what we're talking about, purple guitars, later on, because it was Billy Corgan who said that the color of paint on the guitar affects the tone as well. So we're going to find out if that's true later on. And we're going to find out if it's true. I suspect it might be, but I'm kind of in the middle, 50-50 right now, but I'm sure Pete's going to school us. Dan, what do you reckon of my pick, the new Z1 from Reverend?
I gotta say, I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that you picked it, but it kind of that it was your number one pick. That surprised me, and I'm totally digging the looks. You got to give props to them for all the etching they do. The railhammer pickups, they come with that beautiful stars and you know, Billy Corgan kind of signature etching, that custom artwork. Also, it's an aluminum pickguard. I mean, that's the best you can have.
Okay.
You know, it looks very plasticky, but if you take a closer look on the more detailed images, you can see it's aluminum, and that's pretty cool. And also, I mean, Andy, you know me well. Alder is always my preferred choice of wood. So seeing them go with a
does it make a difference though?
Chambered alder body.
Don't go there, Pete.
No.
Don't go there. We're live. Don't go there.
Bring it. Come on.
No.
The question is the color or the wood more dramatically affecting the tone? That's the
Tone
question.
colors. I think it's
Gonna
tone
answer it
colors.
later.
Yeah, midnight black and silver freeze.
Midnight Black and Silver Freeze. Thank you, Dan. The names escaped me.
Welcome.
All right. Well, in a minute, Pete, we're going to play a game called Buy, Borrow, or Burn, which is like Mario, kill. And you have to buy one of these picks, you have to borrow one of these picks, and you have to burn one of these gear picks.
Oh, okay. Go on then.
It's nothing. We're not actually going to burn anything because neither are we going to buy anything or borrow it. We could possibly borrow one, but I'm probably not going to buy one of these. I'll be straight up. But it's just a game, everybody. Okay, so don't get offended if someone burns something you like.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't burn my Reverend. All right.
Does it give you?
Is,
wait a sec. Does it give you some Meteora vibes as well?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
Little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, let's put it back on screen. Meteora 51.
I think it's more the 51, the Telestrat or whatever it's called. For me.
I think if it had the Tele pickups, then it would be absolutely 51 inspired. But it's kind of Meteora 51 because the Meteora has the
Humbuckers.
The humbuckers.
Yes.
I like saying Meteora because it's like meat.
It's like a pizza.
Like, it sounds like a pizza. Exactly.
Meteora in large. All right.
Yeah. Meteora and chips, please. Right, Dan, your pick of the week, sir.
Dance, pick up the week. Dance, pick up the week.
Somebody's been in Logic there, and with that music, anyway, whatever.
Yeah. And added some random vocals.
Absolutely, it's great.
Dan, your pick of the week, mate. What is it?
Yeah, my pick of the week is the new orange Marcus King MK Ultra amplifier. It's a signature amplifier for Grammy Award-winning artist Marcus King, and Orange has stated it's built in the USA. So this is a first for the company. They have designed it to accommodate Marcus's playing, and the amp itself, it's a small wattage, full tube amp. So that it's nothing so spectacular about it. But why I picked it is basically, can you show the front plate again? It's ridiculously simple. They basically narrowed it down to just treble, bass, and volume, and that's it. And I completely love the concept. They dialed it in to kind of have like a sweet spot, whatever setting you kind of choose. And if it works well, I think it's ingenious because there are a lot of people, I'm in love with Boogie, and I play Boogie all the time. But I was driving the guy at the sound engineer always mad when I came to the venue, and I had to dial in everything from scratch because different venue, Boogie didn't work. It sounded like crap, so you had to set it all back and redial it in to get a proper sound. And with that amp, that could be that kind of plug in and play amp for the next generation that is a little bit blues oriented. So I just like that. I don't give it F approach. That's just, I really like that.
I dig it hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I rarely change the EQ on my amps anyway, so and that's the sound guy's problem as far as I'm concerned. No, I have an EQ pedal, so if I want to change my EQ, I generally use the EQ pedal, and then maybe I want to knock something back a little bit, but honestly, the tone, doesn't change that much. Not that I'm gigging much at the moment, but yeah, I dig that hard.
Pete, would you gig with that amp?
I think it's very. I mean, it's the name is a bit controversial, isn't it? Wasn't there something about MK Ultra was a thing that the CIA did where they, with a lot of Google it, Google MK Ultra.
Oh yeah.
So I think
I was listening to another podcast, and that was a special episode on MK Ultra.
Yeah, I
didn't
think
even register.
No, I think the name is a little controversial. I mean, I don't want to go anywhere, but if somebody said you don't want to do a Holocauster, a Fender Holocauster or something like that. No, but I know, but what I'm saying is it's the same thing because that's the MK Ultra was just as bad.
Right.
It was just as bad. Apparently, it was
I had
just as
no
bad.
idea.
So no, but so if you go, that's as bad it is. It's just as bad. So, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of orange amps. They do a thing. They do really well. It's not for me. I like a clean platform for my and with a bit of reverb. This one doesn't have any reverb in it. And I think maybe for gigging, I would like, if I were using an amp, I would probably have something a little bit more higher headroom, so maybe 100 watts or something, or at least two 40 watts amps or something that was, so you can have a little bit more headroom to push a little bit more pedals.
What is the
into
headroom
it.
on the orange?
It's only 40
the
watts, I
wattage,
think,
sorry?
isn't it? Is it 20 or is it 40?
It's 30.
30 watts. So
30.
which means that as soon as you start turning that big volume up, it'll crank really quickly. And as far as I could hear from the stuff that I've seen online, it distorts almost the fuzzy kind of orangey type thing quite quickly. So you have to use your volume control, which is what he does, which means, at the end of the day, it's his signature amp. So he should be, who cares? He's like, I love this. It's mine. It sounds great when I play it. If you want it, buy one. If not, then hey, I still love it because it's my signature amp. I've got that with guitars. If you buy signature guitars, maybe try the one first that is not the signature, and then, unless you're a massive fan of it, like the Lowry you've got in the background there, which is a beautiful guitar, amazing guitar. Sound a bit like Trump then. Amazing guitar, beautiful guitar. I need to stop. But that, but there's, I can't speak. I've got a signature overdrive pedal, right? And I mean, it doesn't say my name on the pedal anywhere. So I just like people to have I wouldn't have my name on it. I would just like to have an overdrive pedal that even people that don't know who I am still likes the pedal just because it's a great overdrive pedal. It doesn't necessarily need to have my name on it. That's the thing, But I don't think I would gig with that amp, to be honest, because I don't think it's versatile enough for what I would need it for, unless I was doing a very specific thing, then maybe.
Like a Marcus King tribute or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
He's a great player.
I love the orange sounds. I love that edge, that fuzziness, that sort of easy doomy that you can get, and that bluesy fuzz. But I'm agreeing with you with the lack of versatility. But as you said, signature amp. So what do we know?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what he wants. That's what you want. So there you are. That's what we worked on. And sorry, go on.
No, did you check the video of Marcus? Because that's the one thing that kind of strikes me with the amp, or even like made me giggle. That he's talking about the amp, and when he was young, he was not able to afford an amp, and then now here he comes with a US made amp that clocks in at $3,000. That's kind of a little bit funny.
But that's what it is, isn't it? That's the thing with signature products, isn't it? There's a lot of them out there at the moment, and I guess if you do have a signature product, then it needs to be, in my opinion, if I'm going to stand by something like the Dane, which I use all the time in all the videos, I wouldn't have a signature product unless I go, I use that. I use this product. I use this. I don't have a guitar, but I've got the Dane, and then I use it all the time. Because what's the point in me? I don't feel like it's genuine enough if I had a signature product that I wasn't happy with, and then brought it out and gone, here, just give me some money. That's not why. I thought this is really good, and I'm so proud of it that everybody, maybe not everybody likes everything at the end of the day, and pedals are kind of when people buy a new pedal every month, they put money aside maybe, and then they'll buy another pedal and another pedal. So that's a bit of a different thing than a £3,000 amplifier. I think, that the Victory I have is not a signature. It's just slightly tweaked reverb in it. It's this different reverb, so I wanted more reverb in it, and it's purple. That's basically the difference. But if it's a signature product, you have to stand by it, in my opinion. Like Josh Smith, for instance, or Lowry, they use their guitars, and that's what it's for.
Sure. Yeah. It's just like the point I was making is more like that he's of course his music is more tailored towards the older generation for sure, and I'm pretty sure that people that would consider buying that amp are not necessarily the 16-year-old up and coming guitar players. They probably listen to Polyphia or those kind of guys. But the point I was making is that if you're a young player and you've been there and experienced that you cannot afford an amplifier, it kind of, I think it's a missed opportunity for him to kind of develop something that provides his tone at a very affordable price point for the next generation of blues players that is looking for a great amp.
But that might come. That might be a second.
Sure.
So like John Mayers did his Silver Sky, and then 2-3 years later down the line, they've now done the SE version of it, and then make it available for people that. And I agree with that. But it's not. I think it's not always about doing it for the money. That's, I think, a lot of. I think that's where, if you can see people are happy with the stuff that you can, I did do the Derpel, which is a Tone City pedal, which is we tweak a Tone City pedal, but it's not necessary. It's more of a collaboration, and it is available, and it doesn't sound like the Dane because it's not the Dane. The Dane is a hand wired pedal, but it gives a flavor, and I use it, and it's more affordable for as you say, people that the kids that can't, or people that haven't got necessarily 260 quid to buy an overdrive pedal for. So £45 is more, it's more possible for people to do that, and I get that, but it's not always about the money. It's not, for me, it's not about the money. It's just, for me, it's about seeing people getting inspired. And I don't know about you, but when we're playing and somebody goes, I love you when you play, or your Instagram videos, and they help me really to pick a guitar up, and I feel like I need to play and I need to learn that stuff, and that's really important. That's why I kind of enjoy it. So if it's a £3,000 amp, if people want it enough, then they will find a way to put the money together and buy it. And I don't think there's no excuses saying, that's too expensive. There's just, do you want it enough? Do you want it? But at the end of the day, then sell something.
How much do you want it? Yeah, exactly.
How much do you want it? Do you really, really want it? Then, I remember that, going and do paper rounds to I wanted a bike, and then I just went to do my paper rounds, and I cut grass until I had the money, and I went and bought a bike, and I think that's more, then you appreciate it more when you have it, right?
Agreed.
So
I get that a lot on my channel when I review slightly more expensive stuff, or even pedals that are over $100. And I just think, I don't want to be rude, but I think if you really want that thing, then you will find a way.
Yeah.
But if we look on the other side, maybe Marcus and Orange, maybe he wanted a signature amp, and then they said, why don't we make it available to the public? Like Justin Hawkins has the Laney, which is not actually really available, but you can if you want.
Yeah.
Maybe Marcus just wanted an amp, and if you want it, it's $3,000.
Yeah, but that's fine, isn't it? And then
they
later on they say,
pedal on the way down the line.
It's the demand there to make something that is more affordable for people. And then you'll have you can take a view, and at the moment it's probably not easy because of COVID still, and manufacturing here and there, and getting stuff across, and it's all expensive. So maybe the manufacturing is not easy at the moment, and his audience is probably bigger in America, so that's why they might maybe have made it over there, and so they don't have to make it somewhere else and then ship it over. And there could be a lot of things that we don't really. I mean, I just want to play guitar, man.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, at the end of the day,
But that's a good point. Maybe they are building them in the US because his target group is basically there.
Yeah, and somebody's talking about Jared James Nichols and a Black Star, and that's a very reasonable price, and he uses it, and that's great. And he's I think it's an okay amp, but he makes it sound great. It's when he plays, you're like, yeah, man, it sounds fucking brilliant, but when I play it, it's just not my kind of thing. So, but that's just because it's his signature thing. So that's whoever said that. Can't read it. I'm too blind. I'm too old.
Who was it?
It is Cranar.
Cranar.
From Cranar's YouTube channel. Hey, Cranar. It's Cranar.
By the way, great new hairstyle, Cranar.
There we go. It's even on the screen now. I want to read it, but absolutely. But
Did you see
Crainer had a
Crainer?
haircut.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it looks
like
awesome.
a massive haircut. Like all the hair's gone, just very very short. Yeah, he looks sleek. So
He says it was an
greeting.
accident, but I'm not sure. I think he looks awesome. So
Maybe there'll be a video on his channel. I don't know. Check out Krainer's channel. It's a good one.
it really, really is. Right, Pete, do you have a favorite piece of gear from roughly the last 7 days?
I mean, I know there's some really cool stuff coming out that I can't really talk about properly, but I think what is really cool recently
don't
has
talk
been,
about
no. There's the new, and that's not because I use it, but there's Victory has brought out their new little V4 guitar pedals. I don't know if you've seen those.
No.
So it's a little guitar pedal, but it's 180 watt amp.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's a Class D, but it's got 5 tubes in there, and then it's also got built-in 2 notes. So you got an XLR output, and you got access to the 2 note. What's it called? What's it called? Remote. And you can load up all the cabinets and everything. Plus, it's got headphones. It's got an effects loop. It's got 9-volt power out, and it's got they do one of each of their amps. So they do the Dodgers, they do the Kraken, everything, but in small pedal form. So it's about that big, and you can run a 2x12, 4x12 cap with it as well, and they sound really, really good. And it's a tube, so it's got that feeling of actually being not like a, you see all these little pedals, and then it's got a wall wart to power it up properly and stuff. This is a proper, IC cable in, and I've been using it, and I think it's really, really good, and it fits in the front of a gig bag, So, and also if you just want to silent record at home with it, you can do that. It's got.
What price did you say these are?
I'm not sure exactly. I think they're about $7.99 or something like that. So, pounds. I think they should be.
What is it?
No, that's the preamp. So it's called a V4 pedal. I don't know if you
copper.
can.
Yeah, it's 400 euros.
No, that's just the preamp pedal.
Oh, right, okay. So you're talking about the whole unit.
Yeah, it's called a V4 amp, pedal amp.
Right.
All right. Okay.
So it's like what can you say, like the G20 from Rev, where it's got all the stuff built into it, but it's just a small little pedal platform kind of thing on it. So I don't have mine here, but it's really cool. And if I run it at home with a 112 cap and just with a little pedal board and jam, and it's loud because you got 180 watts, and then because of that, those tubes that are inside of valves, it's great. Sounds great. Takes pedals well, and the out sound great. All the 2-note stuff is the same. Mm-hmm. So
great.
Yeah, I think that's quite cool. But there's a lot of new cool stuff coming.
Are you involved? Like, because maybe we can just take on there. And are you involved in any kind of product development and beta testing for Victory?
A little bit, yeah. They tend to ask just. I mean, we get that often, not all the time, but we get often that people will bring us products and go, have you got any ideas, and what do you think about this, and can you just give us some pointers on what you think about this product and where could we go with this? Yeah, so that happens. People send stuff ahead of launch, and I'm always happy to help. If there's anything we can help with, people ask about, what do you think about this? And can you write me down some stuff? It'll take me, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to look through something or listen to something, so I'm happy to help, have if they want my opinion on something, I'm happy to help out, No skin off my nose, as they say.
Well, I've played it. Being over in Europe, I don't get to play much of the Victory stuff, but they have some in Vienna, and I'm going there in a couple of weeks, so I will make sure that I get my hands on one of the little, probably the Kraken is the one I want to try most.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Kraken amp as well, and I think it's just, they got Martin Kidd to develop all that stuff, and he just does a great job, and there's a lot of testing going into it, and and he knows gain like no one else, you know. And he's also good at listening to when you say, when I put everything at 12 o'clock, I want it to sound in a certain way, and then he'll go back and take back and forth, you know. And that's, you know, that's how I run my amp. Like 98% of the time, it's just everything at 12 o'clock.
Oh wow.
You know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. Andy, are you having a storm in your place because you've
Just
gone
looking
back
at
to
mine,
Minecraft?
Yeah, mine are roughly centered, but that's kind of what we expected.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a like.
We are having a little bit of a storm today. I can hear a severe lag, so I'm being quiet a little bit.
Excellent.
There's obviously nothing I can do, but the show will go on, and I'll just sit here. It should fix itself in about 5 minutes when people stop watching Netflix in my village. So I have disabled the Wi-Fi in my house, so I'm the only one on my internet right now. That's
Netflix, yeah, Netflix.
the countryside.
Sure.
Every one of Andy's family is sitting in the living room with a book while he's doing the live stream.
Turn all the lights off and a fire going and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Stop watching. I'm trying to do a show.
All right.
Just a couple of hamsters running in one of those wheels. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time that we stop talking about gear, gentlemen, and decided on who has the best gear. But Dan, I think you should take this week because I'm just going to be pixelated and possibly away. So we're going to do buy, borrow, or burn.
Buy, borrow, or burn.
All right. Well, buy, borrow, burn. For everyone who's new, or even for Pete who jumped in so spontaneously, rules are super simple. Each of us has to pick one product that he's going to buy, one product that he would possibly borrow, and one product that he will burn and never ever look at it again. Usually we pick for each other, so maybe we do it the same way. So Pete, for whom do you want to guess?
So what? I just guess. What do you mean? Like, so I just
You guess what Andy would pick or what I would pick.
Oh God, I'll do Andy.
All right.
So are these the three products we've looked at now, right?
Correct.
Okay, so he would buy the Reverend, right? And he would borrow the Victory and burn the Orange. Oh no, hang on. No, he would borrow the Orange 100%. And burn the Victory.
No, you got it.
I did it. I got it.
You got it. You got it straight in first time.
Well, okay, good. There you go.
Yes.
Burn the Orange. Yeah, good.
Wow.
Poor Marcus King.
Sorry, Orange. Sorry, Charlie Cooper, if you're watching, but these happen. It's just how it happens. Part of the role.
All right.
Am I seriously lagging, or is
you're good now.
Is it workable?
You're good now.
Now it's back.
Okay.
I think
good,
now it's back. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for Dan, and then Dan, you go for Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that Dan would. Ooh, that's tough. I don't know if Dan's got $3,000 to spend on an amp that he probably wouldn't use.
Money, no object, right?
I think Dan would. I think Dan would buy the Reverend, borrow the Orange, burn the Victory.
That's what I think.
Tension. He's thinking.
Yeah.
We're not frozen. He's thinking.
Yeah. Nope. I think that's what I'm. Or I would
Yes.
probably burn the Marcus King amp because I already have a lot of amps. Borrow the Reverend. And grab that Pia and run with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't break the rules of your own game. That's cheating. Cheating.
No, you got it right. 100%. Great.
Thanks very much.
I think the picks are
Right.
quite easy this week. Usually we have very strong contestants, but this week it's very niche and very specific, so it's kind of easy. On the other way, for Pete, I think 100% he would buy the victory because it's basically the company he's got a signature amp with, and they probably season it to his taste as well. He would borrow the Reverend just to see if there is such thing as tone wood or tone lacquer. And he would burn the Marcus King amp and never look after it again. Yeah. How's that?
Well, but I was then thinking, would I buy the orange just because it's so different from anything else I have? And then I've got the victory already, so I might borrow the Reverend, and then I wouldn't burn the amp because that's just sad. I'll maybe donate it to charity instead. But otherwise, you're right. Yes, otherwise you're right.
Within the confines of the game, we're not actually burning anything. It's just
Yeah, I know.
just-
But you're right then. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
just get all of it if you can. Maybe not the orange amp. I think it's a bit too expensive. But I'm looking forward to trying it out though.
Yeah.
If we
I'm
ever
looking
will.
forward to watching a video of you trying it out. This is rubbish. It's too expensive.
No, I never say that. But you can tell most of the time, I think. But I think the fact is we don't charge money for any of our videos also really does help that we can have an opinion about things. There's no point in doing videos on something
Well,
that
you've opened a very dangerous door there, my friend.
Yeah, I know, but the fact is we don't, because we're a store, right? I know you all into this.
Yeah.
That if you are getting paid, you should say you're getting paid. That's fine. But Andertons is not getting paid for it. It's all a marketing thing for this shop, and we'll do videos on whatever we want to do videos on, whenever we want to do videos on it, whenever we think it's a good time to do it, and in doing all of that, we have an opinion about things. We can say, I don't necessarily like this bit, or I'm not a fan of this, but this is really cool, but this is not so great. Or we can choose not to do a video on stuff. If sometimes it's worth not doing a video on something, than doing a video on something and the video isn't great on the product. Do you know what I mean? So it's better to, like we did that Vox Mini Go. I don't know if you watched that, if any of you watched that video. This like little Vox Mini Go amp. It's got a looper built in. It's got a microphone built into it. And we were like, we haven't done a video on this stuff. Should we do it? And it was sitting around for like 3 weeks or something. We went, it's just a little amp, and with the battery in it, and you can take it out. And it's like, what are we going to do with this thing? Can we do something? And then the video turned out like, because I had a microphone and I did this little song and I looped myself doing some like vocal stuff, and then I looped some guitar in and some bass, and it just set the whole tone for the video. And it didn't necessarily had lots of views, the video. I don't know how many views it has now, but it was just the whole vibe of the video was just so great that actually, why didn't we do that before? But it was just, let's just do it and see what happens, But, so we can pick and choose whatever we want. But we did set it aside because we didn't know, is it worth us doing a video on it, or maybe not, just leave it because it seems like it's selling okay and people are happy with it, and so I think we just need to do something on stuff that really is inspiring to people and to us, so you can see the general thing, when we actually genuine happy and excited about it, and for us in the long run, if you film 4 videos a day, not every day but most days, if you want to maintain that, the mental, if we're doing an intro jam and an outro jam and then playing in between it, you have to come up with 8 different jams in a day, loops or whatever it might be. There's a lot to take in and keep, and then you have to edit it all afterwards. So there just has to be something to keep you going, and and there you go. It was fantastic. It was so fun at the end of it,
I haven't seen it, but I am now going to go and watch it. I haven't even heard of the product, so
no. But neither had I.
I don't get a chance to watch other people's videos.
Exactly, and I rarely watch YouTube because I do it all day long, But it was just
That's the
fun.
downside.
It was just a great little at the end of the afterwards, we were like, it was so much fun, and we weren't expecting that at all. So
I don't want to fall out or argue, and I didn't want to jump down your throat, but I have to say that everything you just said, I operate with the same feeling. I don't do videos I don't want to do. I do charge money to do reviews, because I don't get paid by a shop to make the videos. I do say what I want to say. So what you've just said about the way you operate your videos at Andertons, it's exactly the same for me. And I'd love to say most other YouTuber gear reviewers. It's not for everybody. Not everybody.
No, but that's you have to, if you get paid money to say something nice about a product or write something nice in a review in a magazine or whatever, that's what it is, isn't it? So at the end of the day, if that's the way you make your living, and then what can you say? I've got my own channel as well, and I don't charge money for it. I've just decided I don't want to do that, but I want to film videos whenever I feel like I want to. And of course, if somebody gifts something, what can you do other than say thank you very much? And then yes, of course I will do it. Which is always nice to get, and very privileged to be able to get some free gear sometimes. It's I've never thought that was going to happen. You can be on tours and play in front of 80,000 people, and you still have to buy your own strings, and then you are on YouTube, and then you get pedals or whatever, and that's just the way it is now, and I think luckily for a lot of musicians that there is the YouTube and there is Instagram and there is the whole world has opened up, that actually we when there's a quiet period in touring, we can do other things, not just touring and go and do gigging, because we can't do that every day for a whole year. It's just impossible to have your calendar booked like that, especially the last 2 years. It's been terrible. So we have to find other ways of making money. If that's making demo videos on YouTube, or if it's doing stuff or lessons or whatever it might be, then that's what we have to do, and that's the way I turned. Like, if I hadn't had this for the last 2 years, we were, I've got 3 kids and all sorts of, it just have to, and you just have to be proactive with it. You can't sit at home going, I don't have any jobs and I don't have any gigs, because if you're not out there, it's not going to just fall in your lap. That you have to say yes to everything. And anyway, now I'm just, but anyway.
Yeah, it's, sorry, Dan.
No, I just want to add that I think it's completely on point. I never really got the concept of watching a video where a product is just being trash talked. Where's the point in just talking badly about a product? I don't want to see that. I want to see videos that inspire me. And if there's a product that is capable of doing a certain sounds, then as a capable musician, you can get a good sound of almost every pedal. And then it's up to the actual audience and to the viewer to decide, is it for me or is it not for me? And,
is it honest as well? That's a lot of it. You need to create with your audience. You need to find they need to trust you, that you're not, I am the same in real life as I am on screen, maybe dialed down tiny bit on the screen, but I am more or less the same person. And I don't see any reason to change myself, because that's otherwise why, if you don't like me, then fine. I mean, like Rob Chapman says, he's a guy, but he says, I'd rather 50 people hate me and 50 people love me than 100 people never heard of me. Mm-hmm. And in this industry, that's a really good thing to say, because that's basically what you want, and that's what the people that you make videos for, or your product reviews or whatever you might do. It's a difficult one to get into as well, because you have to be, if you want to start a YouTube channel now, you have to. It's just constant. It's every day, and it's full on, and it's busy. And the first year, maybe 2 years, you might not make any money at all, and you might. I still sit up to do videos, to edit videos late at night sometimes, just to keep up with it. And that's just, if you want it, then you have to put in the work, like anything, I guess,
And that's why some people succeed and some others don't. Some others don't.
Yeah, some don't.
Some don't. No, but exactly what we were saying about affording the Marcus King amp. If you want something enough,
Yeah.
you will succeed.
Yeah.
There won't be a point where you say, that's too much, I can't do this anymore. Or if
Yeah.
there is, then you didn't want it enough in the first place. Exactly the same as like being in a band. I've been in a few bands that were really, really good, and we thought we were going to go really far. We didn't want it enough. We quit. You know, we didn't want it enough.
Oh, it's the same with being a session musician. You know, you could. The thing is, you know, even if you think you're good enough to do that gig that the other guy's got, and you stand there and go, I can do that gig. That's not how you just need to really just wait. It's like stand in line and wait till it's your turn, basically. And if you're good enough and you're a cool enough guy, and if you're at the right place at the right time, then it'll come to you. You know, you can put it out there. You know, you put it out in the universe, going, this is what I would like to do now, and then you go to jam nights and you put yourself out. And on Instagram is a great place for all that stuff. You know, that you now have got a platform that you can actually. Some people do get gigs from, which I never had because I didn't even have a mobile phone back then when I started. You know, but it was still. You know, when I moved to Copenhagen, straight out there the first night. You know, put my stuff, get the guitar in the back, down to a jam night somewhere. And then just jam, and there was every Monday, Tuesday, and just jam. And then people just go, hey, do you want to do a gig? Yes, great, chat, and then that was it, you know. But you can't sit at home and wait for it to happen, you know. And then I guess with the whole YouTube and the Instagram thing, you know, you can do 100 takes and then put the best take up there, and then is that, you know, are you then? Can you then sit down and have a blues jam with someone, you know, or can you do something, or can somebody go, this song is in A, let's do it, and then you just play along and hear what's going to happen next. You know, there's, you know, instead of doing that and you're looking on Instagram going, that's amazing, and then let's have a jam. Oh God, I don't jam. I've never played with a band before. So there's different. The musicianship is going different directions now. I feel a little bit like, you know. Where's the new Nirvana? Oh no, I'm just going to plug into my little interface at home and listen to some, you know, it's not the same as a 4x12 Marshall stack with the drummer, and you don't get the same feeling. It might sound the same as a Marshall, but it's just not, it doesn't give you that whole reality and that sort of reaction with other people and musicians sitting at home. Does it make sense? I don't know, but it's, you know, but the young musicians are not even in a band. They just want to be an Instagram or YouTuber, which is fine. It's fine. But I just feel like you're missing that interaction with the musicianship and the feeding of other people and feeding other musicians and the vibe. And, you know, I remember standing and playing the same song for an hour and a half in a little rehearsal room in a basement somewhere, just playing blues for an hour and a half with my friends, you know, back in the day. And then just coming out afterwards going, amazing. We were probably shit, but, you know, but we lived on that. It was just, the bus was just going like, you know, the whole day afterwards. The next day it was like, so great, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's a different approach. I think nowadays, if you look at the new generation.
I feel you, and I think the take from my take of it is that you miss out on something.
Yeah. But if I may, we're having a bit of a lag, yeah. But if I just may jump in here, I think the new generation, they are also playing the lick or the riff or the song for 2 hours, but they only post the 30 seconds or the minute that is the best. So that's maybe the difference, that they don't expose themselves in a way that for instance, Pete has done in the past, you know.
Which is fine, you know, which is fine. I just unbeliever in if you make a mistake, that you will learn from that mistake. You know, that's why if you watch the Andertons videos and the jams we have, you know, that's the jam, that's the first jam. And if there is a mistake in there, unless it's a really bad one, then we'll just leave it in, you know. And if there's, when we're playing the instrument or the guitars and listen to stuff, if there is any, oh God, I didn't get, it doesn't matter, because it's you learn from those mistakes and it's real. You know, and from my own experience being a session musician, when you're out and doing a gig or you're rehearsing, and if you do one big mistake on a stage with a lot of people, and you know, if you do one mistake, you'll never make that mistake again. Nobody's going to have to tell you don't have to tell me afterwards that I've effed up that chord in that song, because trust me, there was 35,000 people watching me do when it was just me and the singer. I'm never going to do that again, right? So that's how it works, you know. It's the most stuff that I do when I jam is just me going record, and then I just do a jam, you know, with the loops or whatever I do. And it's just, I try to be as real as possible, and it's me, you know. I'm not trying to be, you can only be the best you can be. You can't be the best John Mayer or the best Stevie Ray or the best or Steve Vai or whoever. They've been there already. You know, you want to find yourself and be you, you know. Yeah, I can't be Dave Gilmour. It's just, I can only be the best Danish Pete, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
That's me. So, but I don't know. It takes a long time to get to that point, you know, realizing that you don't have to necessarily, if you want to play as a session guy, all you have to do is not very much. Because if you start doing all this stuff and that stuff, if they don't need it, you're not going to stay there. That's the fact, you know. They want a G, E minor, C, and a D, and then maybe they want a C to an A minor, whatever. And if you play something else, then and it's not supposed to be played, then you get somebody else that does that, who's younger, who charges less money, and is better looking. You know.
All right. Shall we go down the route of Pete's guitar story a little bit, because you know, the show itself is tailored around the idea of talking about and telling your very personal guitar story. And I read that you started playing like around the age 11.
Yeah, I was 11. Yeah.
What was the point where you decided, okay, I want to do that for a living?
When I was 11.
Oh wow! Okay.
No, I think I just picked the guitar up at a random I went to a very tiny school, 50 students in the whole school, you know, and we've got 10 classes, and it was like a little private sort of set up school by some hippie parents, you know. They just set up their own school. They wanted to get out and do some more sort of, it was very sort of aimed at arts and music, and you know, the kids could just be kids a little bit more. And we had this sort of weekend camp, and there was a guitar sitting. One of the parents had brought a guitar, and I picked it up, and he taught me a few chords, and I was just hooked on it. And then he gave me some lessons, and by the time I was 12, 13, I was in my first band, and I just thought that I just wanted to play guitar kind of thing, you know. Never thinking, oh, I'm going to be Mark Knopfler, or I'm going to sound exactly like Jimi Hendrix, or I never went like, Stevie Ray, and I didn't do that. But I listened to a lot of different players. And, you know, my parents played Beatles all the time, and Rolling Stones, and, you know, Jimmy, and all of it. It was all there on records, and I remember all that stuff. But I never sort of honed in on somebody completely,
okay,
you know, and sat down and learned to play exactly like one person. Which can be good or bad, but I think it's mostly good, because I just enjoyed music. It doesn't necessarily have to be blues for me. It doesn't have to be. It could be classical. It could be rock. It could be, you know, it could be anything for me, as long as it's a good song. You know, I like Whitney Houston, and I enjoy some, you know, Metallica, whatever, sometimes. And I can enjoy a nice song and a nice melody, and I can take from that the musicality from those things, and then I just find it, you know, I'm a very rhythm-based sort of player guitar. I love the rhythm and the feel. Then I sort of played drums for a little bit there in the beginning as well, because I found like I've got a cousin who's a really good drummer. His dad is an amazing drummer back in Denmark, and the family on my mother's side, my grandfather was a musician, and his brother, and they were all kind of musicians. And there's this they all had this kind of inbuilt kind of metronome kind of groove going all the time. It's very sort of tight knit sort of little, and I sort of felt like that was my thing, that locking in with somebody, you know, that was very important to me, and has been in every gig I've done. It's just to lock in with 3 or 4 chords instead of I didn't want to be the guy who did all that stuff. I just play 2 notes and everybody goes, oh wow, what was that, you know? Oh, it's Pete playing. Yeah. If you can manage to play 1 or 2 notes and people go, yeah, that's him, then I think it's more impressive than somebody who can play a super quick lick that everybody else can. I mean, it's impressive all that I you know. I just didn't have the patience to sit and practice it.
Okay.
So, but I feel music has always been more for me, and I just felt it was really when I listened to the Beatles, the melodies and the chord changes and the way that they would just work together as a group. You know, it's just that all fascinates me a lot all the time. You know, to lock in with someone and do little things here and there that just change the whole thing. You've got a drum beat and you can play that. There's all these little holes in music all the time, and and that's what makes the painting when you zoom out from it. You know what I mean? You've got all these little and then, oh my God, it's a picture of. Have you seen those things with the pics or whatever, and somebody does something and they zoom out from it, and then all of a sudden it's just like a mosaic of stuff, you know? And I find that all really, really interesting, you know. And I just love it. Never stopped since then. So that's basically.
That's good. It's really encouraging to hear this kind of similar story. We get a lot of guitar stories of just that passion, and you genuinely, obviously, have that passion. And I must say that you are the best Danish Pete that I know. Let's just make sure that everyone knows that.
Oh, and the girls love it. You know, that was the other thing when you get a little bit older. You know, that guitar. It's back then it was okay to play guitar, and to get the girls. You know.
And you did, so congratulations.
Yeah, I did. Got 3 of them now.
We've got a question from someone in the chat. This is a question from Patrick Carroll. He says he's a massive fan, and he has a sort of technique question. I'm going to try and put it on the screen. There we go. He says, I'm curious, your hands... Whoops, it's gone. Clicking it once would be good. Here we go. Massive fan, Pete. I'm curious, your hands seem a little smaller, like mine. How have you navigated wrapping your thumb around the neck like the maestro JM, John Mayer, I assume, for good support for bending vibrato?
I mean, vibrato is really one of those, it's almost like a voice signature in your playing. When somebody's got a great voice like Mariah Carey, or you can hear them singing, some people that can, you know, I feel like how you are as a person comes out in how you play guitar as well sometimes, or how you are emotionally. And wrapping the thumb, there it is. I think a lot of a lot of teachers tell you when they teach you to play guitar that you have to put your thumb behind like this, right? So that, keep it there and then play that like that all the time, right? Mm-hmm. And I did that, so you can see this thumb does that, like probably a lot of guitar players, and the other one doesn't do that, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just from putting that pressure on the guitar for so many years that, you know, eventually you get a bendy thumb like that. But I think it's just finding when you play guitar. I feel like a lot of people, how can I put this? I haven't had fret changed on any of my guitars ever, right? Which means I play very, very gently on the guitar. I never really press hard, and I feel like if you think that you need to press hard on all of it, I think you're using a lot of sort of strength, and you know, you have to relax a lot in your playing and in your hands. So you can try it yourself. Do a G chord and then see how little you actually have to press down till you get the note, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's just a matter of loosening up in the hands. And then eventually, you know, you'll get your thumb over. And as I said, some teachers will kind of go, don't do that, and then slap your thumb back. But there's no right or wrong in playing guitar. There's just how you are comfortable. What are you comfortable with doing? Because eventually, if you keep playing and playing, you'll find yourself and the way you like to do the vibrato, for instance. I think he's probably talking about this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I've put
your full screen for a second. Hang on. There we go.
You know, you'll if you put your thumb over to hold the vibrato, but you can also do that. You know, you can do it sideways. You know, you can do it in and out. Actually, you know, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I think it's just a matter of being comfortable with the guitar you have, and then just play and play and play and play and play and play and play. You know, and again, I don't think there is a right or wrong. there's repetition. I know repetition is really boring, but it is something that you do need to do, like just play the same scales to a metronome all the time. And then it's getting inspired, like watching other people play or listening to other people play. So you want to pick the guitar up and play, but play you play your thing, and then getting those little licks from people or whatever, and then try to steal those things and then taking them into your playing and making them your own. And I'm not the big theory guy. I don't know a lot about it. I know what I think sounds right and nice. And you can normally hear if something sounds bad. You can normally hear if there's a bad sound in your solo, and you go, I'm not going to play that again. Or you play it chromatically. You'll just play it chromatically. I mean, it's all about practice and just getting inspired and play guitar. Just keep playing. Whether it's sitting on the sofa watching a film or whatever. I'll do it all the time. And it doesn't. Instead of practice your guitar, then play your guitar. I think. Play it, because yes, do that a million times. It's all that time, all the way up and down, and doing your pentatonic, whatever it might be, that needs to be done as well. But you need to play the guitar. It's like getting your driver's license. Here's your driver's license. Now go and learn to drive the car. You're not gonna, do you know what I mean? You get your driver's license, you're in the car, and then all of a sudden you're just off. You go on your own. Jesus Christ, what am I doing here? And then you need to go and learn. You need to go and learn it and see what's happening and be familiar with it. It's the same sort of thing, I think.
I will never forget the first day I did that.
Yeah, that's it. And it's the same on, if you're, put yourself out there, do your little licks, put them on Instagram and see what people think, don't be scared of it, and take the criticism. You do have to have thick skin in this day and age, because it's all on Instagram and you are so exposed to everybody all the time. And sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's shit, so, but don't let it encourage you to be better,
Yeah,
it's easy for me to say, because I come from slightly a different generation, and it wasn't all there, and I just sort of never knew that this was going to happen. I mean, this was not why I did this gig. It was because I was living down the road and I didn't want to tour anymore. I just wanted a bit of a paying job, So, here we are, 7 years later.
Has it been that long? Wow.
7 years since I started this. Yeah, it's in September. It'll be 7 years.
Wow. That blows my mind. It really doesn't feel like more than 4. And
that's like 720,000 subscribers later. So, which is a lot, but not in YouTube numbers. You could have, if you use 7 years and put all the effort in, then if you've done something else, maybe you'd have more. But it's quite impressive for what I think we've achieved with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pete, can we move on to the purpleness? I have some purple questions.
Yeah, of course.
I guess, but the only question I have, but it's a deep one, is: do you really like purple guitars, or was it something you said and then you felt like you had to stick with it?
No. Yeah, I know. I completely see what it is. So this guitar is the one that started it all, right? This guitar, the purple. Prince is one of my all-time heroes, and of course he is purple. And I've never had a favorite color as such. I just think that colors to me are nice. I like colors. But this guitar came in the store secondhand about 5 years ago now, and I was just looking for a Telecaster. And because I wanted to buy a nice Telecaster, because I started playing on a Tele way back when, and I had this black sort of Telecaster, and I just wanted a nice custom shop one. I've seen some here, and I was like, I want a nice one. And then somebody said, "Oh, this you like Prince, right? Oh, the purple Telecaster just come in secondhand. Go and check it out." And it was in the shop, and I just picked it up, and I was like, "This is brilliant." I mean, it wasn't for me, it wasn't like I'm looking at the color going, oh, that's cool. I picked it up and I just played it, and I was like, I need this guitar. It was literally immediate. And so it wasn't really the color. I thought it looked really cool, you know, but I didn't think about, oh, this is going to be something. So anyway, so I posted it on Instagram. This is the best Telecaster I've ever played, and posted it on Instagram. And then I called Lee up and go, can we do something? You know, can we do a thing? I buy it and then I sort you out, money, you know, all that kind of stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm just in a meeting. I'll come down in a minute and we'll sort something out. It's fine. I talked to the wife and and she was like, yeah, we'll sort it out. And then he's like, he gives me a call this afternoon and goes, the guitar's been sold. And I was like, what? Yeah, somebody saw it on your Instagram account and called up and bought it.
No
way. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, no. And I was absolutely I was destroyed because I thought I was going to get that guitar, you know. But turns out that this guy is Sam. He's a guy who buys a lot of guitar. He changes stuff all the time. And, you know, one of the guys said he switches stops all the time. And maybe he'll bring it back to this point and then maybe, you know, sort something out. And I kept going in for the next few months. I went in every time I went in the store. Has he brought it back yet? Has he brought it back yet? No, he hasn't brought it back yet. No, he hasn't brought it back yet. Turns out, actually, 3 weeks later, after he did bring it back, right? So he brought the guitar back, and the Paul that then took it in called Lee and said, "Oh, the guitar's back." And Lee called my wife and said, "It's Pete's 40th coming up. Do you want to? Should we keep this guitar? Do you want to buy for him and put it in somewhere? You know?" And she was like, "Absolutely, yeah." So it sat in Lee's office for 4-5 months, maybe.
Wow.
Which I was in his office, and it was sitting in a case there for like 5 months or something. And then on my birthday, they were like, "We got a present for you," you know, the girls and everything. And they brought this thing in. I was sitting in bed, I had coffee or whatever, and they brought this. I was like, "What is this? What is this guitar case?" And I thought they'd taken one of my guitar cases and put some presents in it, just as a thing, you know. So I get this guitar case, and I click it up, you know, click, and I open up, and it's like literally, fuck, and it was the guitar. So it came back, and then my wife then bought it for me for my birthday. And then I started playing it on the Andertons videos, and it just completely just went. And it was never like anything in me going, "Oh, it's purple, it's amazing," anything. But it just looks so cool, you know, and it just makes me play great. And you know, and I've actually worn it down a lot, quite some of it is worn off and stuff. And now, you know, as you can see behind me, there's. We did Squire Bullets, Telecasters, you know, there was 650 of those that went, you know, and there's something with Telecasters that I think just works with some color on it. There's something with them that just makes it, the shape, you know, like we did double bound orange tangerine, double bound candy apple green, and they just looked like, when they're slightly relic, they just look really cool. Mm-hmm. And then it just took off, like, you know, I don't know where it came from. So it's not just me that sort of went with that purple thing. But it's just become synonymous with me, I guess, now. So, and I don't mind it. I think it's cool, you know.
I think it makes it even more special that it's family related, that your wife gave it to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. So my wife and kids basically bought it for me, and you know, and it is, you know, I've got a lot of great guitars that I would reluctantly sell, but if there was one I never would sell, it's definitely this one. Mm-hmm. You know, absolutely. So it's very special and dear to me, and maybe that comes across. I don't know, but it does look really cool. You know, the purple is just great. So, and actually, this was made for Frankfurt in 2014. There was 3 of these. And this one went to the UK, and I think the guy in Germany's got one. And then there's another one somewhere, which I don't know where it is. I've offered to buy all of them if at some point, you know. So if they were there, I would buy them all. But cool. Just get all the sisters together, all the triplets. But it's great, and it's super light.
Can you satisfy my gear nerdiness and tell me the specs? Like, what's the?
So it's a slightly enigma of a guitar, right? So it's it's a quarter sawn maple neck. It's an ash body, which is super light. I mean, super duper light. And then it's, it's a relict. It's relics, and then it's got now. It was a no caster and a twisted telly in here, and people were asking, what is the pickups? What's the pickups? And so I had with Monty's, I've done a set of pickups. So we were like, because you can't buy this set, so you can't. If you buy, you have to buy 2 sets to get to match it. So if you want to buy 2 sets of Fender custom shop pickups, and then you have to throw 2 away basically. So I gave it to Monty. I said, "Can you do a set of these so maybe people can get a chance to buy this set?" And we figured out actually they were not exactly what they said. The whole guitar is slightly an enigma. The neck is in between like 2 things, and it's not what it says on the travel lot. So it's almost like, oh, we need these for Frankfurt. We need 3 of them. Do them now, So we made the set, which I've then put in here, the Monty's DP51 set. So it is essentially a no caster and a twisted telly. And then, it just sounds great. I love playing this guitar. It feels amazing. It's got 5105 frets on it, and yeah, I haven't done anything to it since. So it's just great. I love it. It's my.
It is beautiful. It really is, and it is synonymous with you. And
it is. I mean, and I've got we've got.
It sounds so organic as well. It's a really organic story, and it's not like you try to market some sort of purpleness.
No, not at all. It's never been a thing that has been that was like made up or anything. It was like, oh, if I buy that, then we can do this, and then it was just people going, where can I buy that Telecaster? So we were like, okay, well then Fender, can you make some of these? And they've been really popular, and they're still selling. And then, of course, can you make something we started off with the Squire Bullet for 129 quid. And they just sold so super quick. And it was like, it's Purple Squire Classic Vibe soon. I think they are coming. So they're like 350, 60 quid or whatever they are. And they're great value for money. And then there's a Purple Road One. I mean, this is not a signature product. That's the thing. It's not nothing.
True,
we got like a classic vibes Strat in a purple with it. It looks great, man.
It's
350
really
quid.
is.
It's just great. And the same is in a Telecaster, this version. Got one of these. It's a Mischief Maker.
Nice.
So
strap body, telly.
Yeah, with a Vega trim on it.
Sweet.
And then there's the one-off Silver Sky in purple sky color.
That's what.
Yeah, that was
they
that made for me. Yeah, it's like a present. So I'm very fortunate to get all that stuff. There's a Seth Backus. See that?
Nice.
Which we're going to get in Andertons actually soon, so that's going to be very cool. So, but I mean, it's I'm very very fortunate that I mean I didn't never it was never a thing for me. I just liked that guitar. It was so great when I picked it up. I was like, this is the best guitar I've ever played. Can I please get it? And then I was so gutted when we went. I was so gutted. It was like I lost but it came back, so it was meant to be. And then
do you know why the guy returned it? What was the return story?
It wasn't just this. It wasn't his thing, he said that we've spoken afterwards, and he was like, "Well, it wasn't meant to be mine. It was meant to be yours." So that's nice.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
nice.
So that's basically it. Yeah.
That makes me really happy because we don't know each other that well. We've met in person once. We've passed like ships on the Instagram night. And it's nice to know that the person I think you are, that story backs that up, and it's beautiful that it is so organic and so wholesome and family-like, and not at all in any way sort of pushed together like Lee says. We need to get you special. We need to put you in some special color, green, orange, purple.
Yeah. No, it's never been. I mean, it's of course people want it, so we try to gift them, and there's also a left-handed. There's a left-handed classic vibe coming, and the thing is, that we have to, as it's like 250 you have to make. So there's 250 left-handed Squire, and I understand that, I know that people with left-handed wants guitars, but that number is just insane. Yeah. But we've done, okay, we'll do it then. you know, so hopefully we will sell, I don't know, 10, 50, I don't know, 50 maybe. It's so, you know, but at least we're trying to give people what they want, you know, at the end of the day. And it's nice to see people posting on Instagram, I got a purple and this is great, and I feel like I want to play it, and it's just, that's the vibe, you know. You see something when it's sitting on the sofa or whatever, and you want to go and play it, you know. That's and you pick a guitar, that's so important to me, you know. And most guitars now are I mean, value for money wise, if you pay 350 for one of these, for like a Squier classic vibe, or even the Ibanez, you know, the new Essential range, for the money, it's just great guitars. You know, you can't go wrong with them anymore. So it's like,
No, we're very lucky, super lucky.
Yeah, and then what attracts you to play these things, you know?
Pete, speaking of Ibanez, because I know Dan won't mention it at all, Troy Collins asks what you think of the FRM 300. Paul
It's
Gilbert's
great.
signature.
Actually, there was one hanging in the shop, and it was like, just walk past it. So I had to. It's great. It's really, really cool. It's wicked. I love it.
I can attest that you should not walk past it. You should go and pick it up and take it home.
And he was immediately sold to it when he got to try it here.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, what I really want to try is that Lowry one behind you. Yeah. I still haven't had a go on that. It looks amazing, and I love the pickup combination with the Telly's pickup in the neck. You know.
Neither have I, Pete. Neither have I. Nudge, nudge, wink,
Great.
wink.
And she's got a purple thing as well, hasn't she? So
Yeah, like she's got purple fingernails and everything.
Yeah.
Like
She played my Telly when she was here, and she thought it was very nice.
all right.
So, absolutely. But I do need to try one of those guitars. It's wonderful.
Yeah, the pickup set is pretty interesting. So, also it's very comfy. You know, you've got the scoop on the back.
Yeah, it's a great guitar. That's a great guitar.
Cool.
I'm sure it is. I wouldn't know.
I don't know either. So
See, Andy, see.
A little point about the left-handed Squier Classic vibes. I think you should supply it with another strap button, and you could Jimi Hendrix that for right-handed players. And I would actually be interested in that.
But it never stopped Jimi Hendrix. He's like, I'm left-handed. Well, there's no left-handed guitar, so he just went the other way around. He never complained, did he? And he was Jimi Hendrix at the end of the day.
When you get them in, let me know, because I was thinking of doing that, of getting a left-handed and a classic. I love the Squier Classic vibes, and why not get a purple one? So when they do come in, send me a little message and maybe
absolutely, we'll sort something out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Sounds like I've just sold 100 guitars for you.
I mean, it's not even. It's like people think I get them. But it's not. It's not nothing to do with me. You know, I just play this one. It's not like I get.
No, you got to give the people what they want.
Exactly.
People want to spend their money on stuff, just like the Marcus King amplifier. Oh man, this. Please, Dan.
No. Since I think we have to come to end slowly, I desperately wanted to ask Pete, what's coming up next? Do you have any like musical projects, or is there any cool projects with Andertons coming on? What can we expect to see from you?
It's a good question actually. Andertons is just carrying on like it always is. You know, we always try to come up with new ideas and do new things, and you know, get more presenters involved and new shows. So that takes a lot of time. Of course, it's a full-time job for me. I would like to do an EP maybe soon, hopefully this year. I wanted to do it last year and the year before, but it just didn't really pan out that way, unfortunately. And then if there is any music touring coming up, maybe if it's the right thing, I feel like I could say yes to something that, you know what I mean? If it doesn't, I don't necessarily need to do it because I'm lucky enough to have this. So it wouldn't be a money thing for me. It would more be, if you really like the music, if you really like the people, it might be nice to do something like that. And then I do little gigs with some friends. You know, we just go and do weddings or, you know, parties. And I really enjoy that because I just turn up and then I get to play a bit. And then I take a 10 minutes long solo if I like, and they just dance around. And, you know, I really enjoy that. And then, you know, I'm just, as long as we're all healthy and that's, you know, my kids are happy, and then that's really most important, I think. kind of thing. And then let's see. I mean, I'm up for anything. I never say no to much. Maybe more now than I used to. But yeah, it'd be nice to maybe go on a tour again if it's the right thing that comes along. It'll be cool. It's a special experience to be able to tour around, and especially if you are doing a world tour or doing the stadium tour in Germany, or it's really something to experience. And I hold all that really close, that and to my heart, and I'm lucky that I've get to experience traveling the world and playing in front of lots of people. So but I've kind of now I'm here, and this is fun too.
Yeah, don't knock it, man. We got a suggestion from Troy, who says that you could do camping unplugged with Andertons and fishing with Pete and Lee. I'd watch that.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. I think Lee's actually got this. He's got sort of a.
Thanks, Troy.
He's got a what is it called, like Bear Grylls kind of thing coming up, where he has to go out and try to be in the wild and cooks his own food and make live outside for like a weekend. So he's very excited about that. Yeah. So yeah, that could be fun. I mean, we wanted to do one thing. We wanted to do is we do a lot of work for Teenage Cancer Trust, and that's our kind of preferred, where we do all our work and charity. And I wanted to do like a 24-hour stream, and then maybe do like do one loop every hour of the 24 hours. I was up for something out of the airplane playing guitar. I'm up for doing anything crazy. So, we just need to find the right time and the right thing to do. Like we donated stuff, we did stuff, we donated all the guitars that we had in here. That wasn't mine. Well, it was a couple of mine, but we donated guitars because we get, we lucky to get given some guitars. We used it for a couple of years. New models comes out, so we donated the old ones with a raffle, and we had 170,000 pounds, 117,000 pounds.
Wow.
We then managed to give to Teenage Cancer Trust. So that's really nice to be able to do that stuff, So hopefully we're gonna do some more of that this year as well. I would like to get some more bands on, do some more bands, but help some people. Just be nice, basically. Just be nice.
Sounds like you should also get some sleep as well. That's a long list.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. That's been the problem. That's why I was drinking too much, and then I had to stop it because it was too much. We just did too much all the time. And you know how it just piles up, and you got family and all sorts of stuff. And the end of it, like, it has to just to put the brakes on, Yeah. But hey, we get to play guitar every day with nice people and have a laugh. What's not to like?
It is not bad, my friend. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna call it because I want to do a second episode. I don't want to give people too much Danish Pete in one episode. So
Well, I can go on, man. I can go on. That's the thing. I'm always happy to come back if you want. Absolutely.
Love you too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people think that they know you because of their own videos, and as you say, you're the same person on screen as off screen.
Yeah.
But I hope people that have watched this and listened to this get to know you a little better, and then that story about your guitar is absolutely beautiful, and
it's crazy, isn't it? You couldn't make that up.
Wonderful family. Yeah. It is.
Everything happens for a reason. I do believe that. That I'm not sort of into all that stuff, but I do think that stuff will find you. So, and here we are.
The guitar will find you. That's
yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure. It happened with me in a Telecaster. My telly found me.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder in the multiverse where the guitar had not been returned, what other guitar Pete would be playing now.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good question, actually. I don't even know what it would be. I don't even know. Would I even play guitar?
You might have finished. You might have. Yeah, if it wasn't that guitar, then you would have maybe given up.
Yeah, I might have cried myself to sleep and gone to do something else, That's it. I'm done. Yeah. I didn't get the guitar.
Well, Thank you, Pete, so much
Thank you.
for joining
Thank you,
us. It's been a blast and really enlightening.
Been a pleasure.
So yeah, I've had a good time. Sorry about my connection issues. Sorry about the lightsaber in the background, wherever that's coming from. And, yeah, a brilliant episode, and it's an honor to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining. And to everyone out there who's listening on iTunes or other podcatchers, if you might leave a 5-star rating for the show, because this will help us reach out, and 5 stars, 5 stars, reach out to more people and get more amazing guests on the show, such as Pete, or maybe even convince him to get back for another episode and talk more gear and more guitar
Yes, please.
stories with us. Thumbs up.
Okay, then goodbye, everybody. Enjoy whatever you do with the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.
Buy a purple guitar. Good night.
Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for